There's two different ways of understanding multiculturalism. There's multiculturalism as a lived experience. That's the one that people naively think they're supporting when they say, surely we should live in a multicultural society. They're saying, surely I should be able to live with someone from the Afro-Caribbean and enjoy the diversity that that brings to my urban street life. And that's absolutely true, of course. But that's ship sailed a very long time ago, as it happened. My mother's French, her sister married a black guy from the Caribbean in the 50s when it wasn't really done at all. My brother married a German, which is even more. I'm married to a Chinese Singaporean. My children are really messed up. That's part of life, right? Nobody's opposing that. But when people in the elites talk about multiculturalism, that's not what they're talking about, right? What they're talking about is mechanisms to superficially celebrate the diversity of communities, but implicitly control how those communities go about doing things. In the United Kingdom, it primarily emerged after a period of race riots in the 70s and 80s, when, as I pointed out in my talk, communities, didn't matter if they were Hindu or Muslim, they came together to challenge the British government about shitty housing, no jobs, and racial discrimination. And the one thing the government couldn't handle was a united community, of many colours, all calling themselves black, interestingly enough. And so they went about saying, well, maybe what we should do to make your life a bit easier is give your community money to build a mosque, your community money to build a Sikh temple, your community money to build an Afro-Caribbean community centre. And that was the start of a process that divided society. Now, you can look at any British northern town where a lot of these communities used to live next to one another. They have become more segregated as a consequence of multiculturalism than they were in the past. And I'll just finish on this point. When the government says, oh, well, what we should do now is we don't like these segregated schools that have emerged, where this school appears to be predominantly Muslim and this one appears to be predominantly white. What we want to do is mix everybody up so that everybody can see and celebrate the difference within their community. Can you see what they're doing? They're not saying we should put them together so that they can have a shared educational experience. Education isn't their agenda, it's divide and celebrate differences. You would think you'd put people from all different communities together so that they could see the commonality that they have and have a shared educational curriculum. No, it's about observing that they're all different. But difference is just a fact of life. We're all different in this room. We're all different in this room. Equality, on the other hand, the fact that we all get one vote in an election and we treat each other as moral equals when we go outside, that's not obvious. It's not obvious that we're all equal, and indeed, just 2 generations ago, we weren't all equal. There was a very strict social hierarchy. Fighting for political equality has been one of the greatest achievements of our times over the last century and a half, and it is being destroyed through the multicultural agenda.